What is going on, y'all? It's your boy VeLL, and we are back with another Mobile Legends video. So as you all know, I took 3 months off, then I came back and your boy hit Mythical Glory in like 2.5 weeks. And you all wanted me to stop trolling now, because since I've done that, I've been trolling a lot and just trash talking and stuff like that. You all want me to get back to actually making content. So we're about to drop some serious content. I'm going to start back making more helpful content and stuff like that. So if you do enjoy this, make sure you drop that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more Mobile Legends content and all that stuff. And yeah, let's just jump straight into it. So we're going to be doing the top 15 strongest heroes right now, and this is just based on my experience coming back, seeing what the meta's like and seeing everything that's going on. So before we jump into that, basically the meta right now is very marksman heavy. It's very geared towards the marksman. All you need in this meta is for a good marksman to become fed, and it's a guaranteed win as long as there's tanks pilling or there's a team pilling and the team initiating. So with that being said, that's what we're going to be going over. So the 15 strongest hero, the first one is Sicilian. Now, in the comment section, before we get into why Sicilian is so powerful, let me know in the comment section what are some of the strongest heroes that you like to use. What are some of your favorites? Write that down below in the comment section. Now, Sicilian, the reason that he's so powerful is because he's a new hero. Obviously, he's going to have a nerf coming soon, but every new hero that gets released in Mobile Legends is usually going to be one of the strongest heroes in the game, and Sicilian has definitely taken that spot. Fun fact, the one time I did beat Mobazane, we had a Sicilian on the team. So that says a lot about how powerful the new heroes are in the game. Make sure when the new hero comes out, you're abusing that hero, utilizing that new hero, because Sicilian, he has CC, he has a bunch of damage, and then he can just spam his abilities. It's absolutely insane. Obviously, you're going to need the blue buff or the purple, but once you have that, it's really just easy selling from there. So yeah, Sicilian is at the first slot. And also, this is in no particular order. This is just like all the heroes that comes to mind when I think of the strongest. Next, we have GRANGER. GRANGER is also one of the strongest in the game right now. He's one of the strongest marksmen. His range makes him very deadly, and then that ultimate as well. But he is a skill shot type of hero, so you do have to get used to actually hitting your shots when you're using GRANGER, and that's what makes him a little bit more difficult than other marksmen. But once you get used to him, he does do a crazy amount of damage. He can any other marksman in the game right now, if you just land your first ability on them late game, it's pretty much a guaranteed kill. Not many marksmen can survive going up against even just his first skill. You don't even need the ultimate, just his first skill. That's how powerful GRANGER can be, especially later on throughout the game. So GRANGER is definitely one of the most dangerous, which I'm sure everyone knows. The red buff has pretty much made all marksmen just super deadly right now, but GRANGER is one of the fastest farming, and that's what makes him meta. He's a fast farmer, and his damage stays good early all the way until late game. Next, we have Bruno. Bruno is one of the strongest for sure. He's arguably the strongest marksman right now. When Bruno gets fed, he can melt down tanks. He can pretty much melt down anyone, and then his attack speed is just so fast that he can constantly deal an insane amount of damage. And then basically he gets fed. He gets fed pretty quick as well. It's like all the marksmen pretty much have the same thing in common. They really get fed fast, they can do a ton of damage, and the thing that you need to understand about all these marksmen is that they can all kill each other. So when it comes down to who's the better marksman to go with, I don't think that there is a better marksman than the top marksman. I think that it comes down to how the player plays that marksman, because all of these marksmen are capable of killing each other. It's just going to come down to the decisions that you make while you're using these marksmen. So next, we have Carry. Carry is the tank killer, obviously. She's known as the tank killer, though GRANGER and Bruno, well, Bruno better than GRANGER, could also kill tanks pretty quickly as well. Carry is definitely known for it. She melts them down super fast. She gets fed at a decent rate. Honestly, as soon as Carry hits level 4, she's capable of killing enemies, and I think that that's why when you use Carry, you should have a little bit more aggression. But obviously it takes everyone on your team understanding the differences between certain marksmen. Like Carry is one of the few marksmen capable of hitting level 4 and then just killing people immediately. So when you have a marksman like Carry, make sure you're playing with a team that utilizes the fact that, okay, Carry is one of the few heroes that can start off just slaying out. So yeah, take advantage of the things like that. Next, we have WANWAN. Now, to go from carry to WANWAN, WANWAN is one of the heroes that early on, she's not as effective. So she gets really fed later on throughout the game, and she gets to the point where she becomes more unstoppable later on throughout the game. So if you have a carry going against a WANWAN, while WANWAN will be almost unstoppable later on throughout the game, early on, a carry can stop WANWAN before she ever gets the chance to get fed. And that's what I mean. It all comes down to how you play these heroes and understanding their weaknesses and how they should be played. WANWAN is very powerful because of her immunity to crowd control with that second ability, and also she's capable of stunning. And if you are very good mechanically and you can hit those little weak points on heroes and get your ultimate fast, WANWAN can be super deadly because of that as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it with WANWAN. Definitely think about the strengths, the pros and cons of every team as you're going against teams, as you're choosing a hero, and as you're seeing what their enemies choose, and that will help you make better decisions depending on when to attack, or if you want to wait before you get into team fights, because certain marksmen take a little bit longer. Like trying to fight super early game with WANWAN is probably not the best decision, especially if you're going up against a carry, Bruno, or Granger. WANWAN takes a little bit longer than them. Next, we have KIMMY. KIMMY obviously is a very early game marksman. So KIMMY is super good early game. If she snowballs, she'll be good late game, but if she doesn't snowball, she's not going to be as effective later on throughout the game though. I think pretty much any marksman can wipe out KIMMY late game if they're on equal ground. If they have the same farm, if they're on equal footing, KIMMY becomes weaker. So when you're using KIMMY, you want to take over the early game. You want to put a lot of pressure on people very early on. And I think that that's where her strength is. She doesn't have to go back for mana. She doesn't have to worry about running out of skills, throwing skills and stuff like that. She can just spray. She constantly can spray, and that's what allows her to get fed so fast and make the plays that KIMMY can make. So yeah, KIMMY is definitely has a well-deserved spot on this list. Next, we have LYLIA. Now we're getting away from the marksman. A lot of people sleep on LYLIA, and honestly a lot of people just can't play LYLIA well, but if you are a really good LYLIA player, she's one of the most unstoppable mages in the game right now. And honestly, she's an auto ban hero if you don't have someone who plays her. If you have someone who plays her, she's one of the mid laners that you want to go for every single time. Like 10 times out of 10 you want to go for her if she's available. And yeah, I mean, she's just really strong. She's really powerful. She stops like any hero that has to get close. Like for instance, Carry has to get really close. If the enemies are using certain tanks are only very valuable within a certain radius. Any team fight that has to be close range and you don't have a bunch of zoning heroes, like for instance, if you're going up against a Franco, using a LYLIA in that situation might not be the greatest decision, since obviously if a comp is a zone comp, they don't have to get close to you. But if it's a pick like any other tank where they have to get close to engage and stuff, LYLIA will burst them all down. So yeah, LYLIA. Next, we have Pharsa. Pharsa is definitely one of the strongest mages in the game as well, but I think that it comes down to the player also. It's very easy to be bad with Pharsa, but it's also very easy to be good for the really good mid laners. So it comes down to the player. Most heroes in Mobile Legends is going to come down to the players and how you play them, and not only how you play them, the decisions you make with them. As long as you're rotating in the proper directions and stuff, it's pretty much going to be, you're going to be bringing value to your team as long as your rotations are on point. I think the majority of these games are going to be rotation based. But next, we have Kufra. Kufra is still one of the strongest tanks in Mobile Legends. He's one of the strongest initiators. When you're playing with your team, if you have a good Kufra who can catch people off guard and just dive and like ult them into a wall or stop them from moving, I think that that's invaluable to a team. And also he can counter heroes like Fanny. You still see a few decent Fanny players playing Fanny now. And then he counters other heroes like Alduus. He can stop Alduus in his tracks from going after teammates and stuff like that. So yeah, Kufra is still very valuable. Also, he's pretty sustainable with his passive. His diving ability, like I said, if you position properly in bushes and stuff and just dive out where people don't expect you to be, it's really nothing you can do to stop a Kufra. Next, we have Lolita. Lolita is one of the strongest tanks right now, and she's capable of blocking projectiles. I think that that's huge. That shield in itself is huge, but also that first ability stun is very, very invaluable also. And if you use your ultimate from certain bushes and stuff, and that's a common reoccurrence between the top tanks. If you catch people off guard ulting from bushes and stuff and then use flicker with the Lolita ult, you can literally stun the whole team and make sure nobody can escape, because even if they try to slowly walk away, you flicker and go straight up into them, nothing can be done about it. So usually when there's a lot of CC on the team, that's when you'll see some picks come out like Diggy, who just completely counters that, so the enemies won't have to deal with that. But that just goes down to counter picking and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, Lolita is very, very powerful right now. Next, we have Jawhead. Jawhead is one of the strongest fighters in the game right now, arguably the strongest fighter in the game. If you're good with him, he's actually one of the few heroes that I don't play. I have never really played him much at all, I don't think. I may have trolled with him a few games before, but I don't have the slightest clue how to play him. But I do know when you actually master him, he can be annoying. Just going and diving the right targets, throwing people back to your teammates and stuff. When you're really good with Jawhead, you can be very, very tanky. You're very fast and unstoppable when you're trying to go for a single target, and you can, like I said, you can throw him back to the team. So yeah, Jawhead is very, very strong right now if you're good. So if you want to be a solo laner, if you're a really strong solo laner, try out Jawhead. Get good with Jawhead. I think he's good in a lot of different situations. Next, we have X.BORG. Now, one of the things that you see a lot when people get nerfed, when heroes get nerfed, is that no one wants to play that hero. X.BORG has been nerfed a little, but he's still one of the best solo laners in the game. And I think that the taboo that comes with a hero being nerfed just needs to stop, and people need to realize that just because a hero is nerfed and they can't take out 5 people every single time by themselves, doesn't mean that the hero can't be used. Now X.BORG is just a really good solo laner. He can do his job very well. So yeah, X.BORG is still one of the strongest. I don't think much has changed about that. But yeah, X.BORG. Next, we have LEOMORD. LEOMORD is pretty much the same as he's always been, honestly. I think he's just as powerful as he's always been. He's a really good pick if you're good with him. Leo, he's definitely a go-to hero for me when I'm playing a solo lane. I love playing him. He has the escapes. Also, he has a little bit of CC with his ultimate, and then once you're in ultimate mode on your horse, you can like swing people around and push people around to where you want them, bring people back to your team, and deal a lot of damage. And obviously the passive, when that passive kicks in, it's hard for people to escape Leo as well. So yeah, if you're really good solo laner, LEOMORD is definitely a hero that you want to go with as well. Next, we have BADANG. BADANG is also another one of those heroes that I don't play personally, but he's very, very good when you're very, very good with him. So BADANG has a lot of CC. He does a ton of damage, and he can literally wipe out a whole team if you jump out of a bush and catch people off guard. And it's insane how effective a good BADANG can be. Obviously, when it comes down to using certain heroes, it's going to come down to the decisions that you make. In Mobile Legends, every hero has power, every hero can kill, but how bad you destroy a team or how many people you take on and stuff like that, it's all about the decisions that you make using that hero. If you use the skills properly and you use them to the max, he's literally capable of wiping out a whole team, obviously in the right situation, but it comes down to you. Last but not least, we have CARMILLA. CARMILLA is one of the strongest supports right now, especially when those few games when Sicilian leaks through the cracks. If you combine Sicilian with CARMILLA, she's insane, but even CARMILLA just by herself is insane. So I think that she's one of the strongest supports in the game right now. Obviously there's other supports, there's other heroes that didn't make the list. Let me know if you think that someone from the list should be removed, or you think that someone should be added. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section about that. Honorable mention that I do want to mention is Nana. Nana is rising up in the meta pretty quickly. Pro teams are starting to use Nana as well. Nana with the flame shot, she's becoming more popular in the meta. I've been using Nana and telling people how powerful Nana was for the longest, but now that pros are starting to use Nana and people are starting to see for themselves because they're watching pros use them, now Nana is getting a little bit more recognition. But yeah, she's an honorable mention, worth mentioning. So yeah, let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know what video you would like to see next. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, fam. Peace out, yo.
I don't know nobody, so don't ask for no favors. Don't ask for no paper, they leave when you losing, but they coming back later. Promise they coming back later. I'm up now.